Tom and Laura. We're joined by Candy Moulton. She's the executive director of the Western Writers Association, WRITERS, having their annual convention at the National Ranching Heritage Center. And first time in Texas you're holding this event since 1978?
98.
98.
98.
Okay. Yeah. Well, welcome to the program, and tell us about the event. Before we get started, we will say that if you're just a member of the public, that you can do a day registration or register for the whole thing. There's a little bit of expense involved in it. However, if you're into this kind of stuff, it doesn't get any better than this.
That's absolutely right. And we would encourage the public to come out and join us if they're interested. We have about 200 writers as in books and magazines and poetry, songs, screenplays. They're all going to be down at the Overton Hotel. That is our convention center location. We will be doing some activities kind of throughout Lubbock, which is part of the attraction to Lubbock. You guys have a lot to offer here. And we come to town. We spend time with each other, which we love to do, and we meet editors and agents. It's an opportunity to market our work to people, but we like to meet the public as well. So we'd love to have people come down and just visit with us at the Overton. There'll be writers hanging around all week down there.
Okay, I just got to ask a question. I'm kind of curious. You know, a lot of this stuff, Laura, I would assume happens by accident, because I don't think, kids wake up in the morning one day and say, I want to be a Western writer.
Well, people usually write about what they know about, right?
That's very true, and except that I will say we have writers and members who are from throughout the world. We have people from Germany and England, Japan. They're from all over. But the common attraction is the American West, and we write about the West in every kind of form and nuance that you can think about. Some of our folks actually grew up on ranches. I grew up on a ranch. My husband runs a ranch. So we have that Western lifestyle in our blood, so to speak. But then we have folks who just love the West, and they want to write about the West.
Kind of an oxymoron. You have a Western writer from Japan.
Right, from the East.
Far East, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And he writes, well, we have a couple of members in Japan, actually, and one of them writes traditional Westerns. So you think of the stories that were set in 1870 to 1890, the Cowboy West, guns and shoot-'em-ups and outlaws. That's what he writes. So he's very good.
Sounds like Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some things have not changed very much.
Okay. Now, we've got some books to give away this week. This is called Roundup. Western Writers of America present great stories of the West from today's leading Western writers. It's edited with an introduction by Paul Andrew Hutton, who has won, 4 Wrangler Awards?
Yeah, and multiple Spurs. He's a past executive director and a past president of Western Writers.
Okay.
He will be here this week, too.
Is he the one who decided which stories would go into this compilation?
He did. When he was the executive director of the association, we did this particular anthology, and he did. He selected everything. He edited it. And it's a combination. It's short stories. It's short fiction, some essays about history of the West primarily. Poetry, and then there's a short novella in there as well. So it's a compilation. It gives you a good sampler of the kinds of work that we do.
Okay. Now, national voice talent Laura Mack is going to read from page 187, Sun City, Kansas, 1903. Hit it.
Sightless leg stumps from the Buffalo hunting trail. Wesley Carter roosts at the Baptist church, a boar skull on his lap. Some days he is naked, lesions here and there. At Easter, the children bring muffins and lilies. Carter lifts the skull, a greenish-yellow cracked thing, above his grizzled head. This is our hero, General Custer. There's a cruelty to surprise the cruel.
Okay. There you have it.
That was from Red Shuttleworth.
Yeah, Sun City, Kansas, 1903. Now, I've actually taken a stab at a cowboy poem a time or two.
Oh, dear.
I told you that I would recite this. Now, I've done this once before a couple of years ago.
Is this something you can do on the air?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, what do you think about when you think about the Old West of Texas?
Ooh, there's a story in here on the ghost of Billy the Kid.
You think about great stakes, right?
Well, yeah.
So this actually was a cowboy poem I wrote in the shower for John Kegel at Kegel Steaks. You ready?
I think.
When you hear it growl, your belly needs filling. The steak seasoned like Texas with iced tea a chillin'. Slaw beans, onions, taters, and peppers, just one look in the spread, and you'll say, yes, sir. The stuff dreams are made of, your mouth waters at the thought, because John Kegel steak is thick, juicy, and hot. You like
That's
it?
very good.
Very good. Sounds like we ought to go to Kegel Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Yum.
I'm hungry.
All right.
There you go. That was pretty good, Tom.
If you're
I'm
interested,
impressed.
well, you know, you when I did this a couple of years ago, you said, wow, you just rattled that off.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, when you have a mind like a steel trap, that's what happens.
I see.
All right. What we have is we've got this book roundup, and appropriately, we're going to couple this with tickets for 4 to Fandangle.
Ooh, yeah.
So you'll have some good reading material while you're on your way. Hopefully, you'll have a designated driver while you're soaking this up. But Fort Griffin Fandangle this weekend, final weekend, Albany, Texas. It's a story of Fort Griffin, 77th annual presentation. And we're going to couple this, like I said, with Roundup. Western Writers of America presenting great stories of the West. If you ring us up right now, how about caller number 3 at 770-5790, 770-5790, and you're in. All right, let's go back to the event. What are some of the feature things that might be, you know, on the schedule that the public might enjoy?
Well, the panel sessions that we're doing, the public would certainly enjoy. They're about writing and they're about history. And so some of the panels on particularly Saturday, we have a really strong lineup of history panels that day. We're doing a session about writing about Comanche Indians, and we have several descendants of Quanah Parker who are going to be joining us for that session. It will be led by Lucia St. Clair Robeson, whose great book, Ride the Wind, was a story of Cynthia Ann Parker. And she came to know the Parker family quite well as a result of that. That afternoon, we're also going to have a session about the Buffalo Soldiers, and that will be led by Cowboy Mike Searles, who has studied Buffalo Soldiers and the Black Cowboy West for many years. He's a retired professor. Great guy. You'll love his laugh if you come meet Cowboy Mike. And then we have a session that actually Paul Hutton, who's the editor of this Roundup anthology we're giving away, is going to be on, and it's about writing about the Alamo. And we have some of the top writers about the Alamo. We have Bill Groneman, who will be there, Rod Timanis, and Jim Donovan are all going to talk about the Alamo. So those are all good Texas stories and history that we're going to be delving into
and
on
some
Saturday.
wonderful writers. This is a big event.
Yeah, it's a big event.
a
We
big
have
deal.
we really have the top writers in the American West going to be here in Lubbock this week. To hang around, to talk about their writing, to share about writing. And then we're doing on Thursday, we have a homestead auction where we raise funds for our education foundation. We do an auction at the Overton. Anyone is welcome to come to the auction. We have a dinner that's affiliated with that. If people want a dinner ticket, I still have a few tickets, and they can get a hold of me. I'll be at the Overton, or they can register at the Overton for that. But the auction itself probably get going about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening at the Overton, and we'll let anybody who wants to come and meet some writers and maybe bid on a few great items. We have some good books. We have movie posters, all kinds of things that we're going to be auctioning off on Thursday evening.
Nice. All right, you guys have a website that people could go to?
We do. westernwriters.org is our website. You can go on the convention site, and there's information there. Our news has information. And people could either email or call me this week. I'm going to be busy, but I'm, if they're interested, I'd love to hear from them. So my email is wwa.moulton, MOULTON, @gmail.com. And my phone is 307-329-8942.
Oh, they can find that information on the website.
They can find that on the website as well.
Westernwriters.org.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Candy, thanks for coming in. We'll check in with you a little later in the week.
Okay, sounds
right.
great.